If my bets are any good, I'd say Sirui is gonna slow down on the anamorphic road for a bit after the release of the new Mars set that we're talking about today. This set is the pinnacle of everything they've been doing in the last 2 years since the announcement of their 50mm anamorphic lens. Let's start with the most important question in this entire video. Can I put these on a speed booster or adapt them to EF? No, great. Now that that's out of the way, let's move on to matters that are actually relevant. I'm working on a longer and more extensive video demonstrating the Mars set. On this one, I'll focus on my first impressions and comparisons to the original 4-lens set that you could get through all the Indiegogo campaigns. The first thing to point out is they listen to the notes on the other lenses. These are cinevised versions of our familiar 24, 35, 50, and 75mm lenses with extra solid construction, built-in gears for focus and aperture, super smooth operation, almost consistent size. The 24 and the 75 are a bit longer, but consistent gear placement, consistent front size at 67mm, and a consistent mount, MFT. Oh, you're a full-frame shooter, huh? Well, I guess I'll see you around. Bye! I took these for a spin on the GH52, shooting behind-the-scenes footage at the set of Bucketheads, a Star Wars fan-made project here in Vancouver, and got some really cool footage, albeit shooting wide open and cranking the ISO to survive low light. It was really interesting to also get the perspective of the camera team and other crew members when they heard BTS was being shot in anamorphic, as these were all big-time film industry folks. The general consensus was that the lenses are pretty compact, the flares are nice, and they're incredibly sharp even wide open. This was met with both shock and resistance from some of the most seasoned crew members. Like, you almost want it to be a touch softer when wide open. The effects of 1.33 times squeeze-on bokeh weren't too big of a deal, and they were shooting with the Atlas Orions for comparison. More oval would be better, but a little oval wasn't bad. The consistency in size, markings, and gears were met with great enthusiasm, but the MFT mount, not so much. On the markings, the first AC pointed out that the imperial distances are marked in fractions of feet instead of feet and inches, and that's less than ideal. A lot of the tools used on set, like the Cine-RT, give you marks in feet and inches, and converting that on the fly is a no-go. Didn't I say that a bunch of times already? The Mars lenses are about 100 grams heavier than their slim counterparts, and also feature much longer focus throws, around 300 degrees opposed to 190 on the original ones. Yet, minimum focus is the same as the original set, which means these also feature the squeeze changes that we saw in the earlier models. The most noticeable thing for me is how the Mars set has improved flares. They've been dialed down to a tasteful amount with reduced saturation, so we're looking at a less nuclear blue and a stronger flare resistance. This is particularly welcome in the 24mm, which would easily become a flare fest in scenarios with varied lighting. We still have the same max apertures, but we shifted from f-stops to t-stops. So these are T2 lenses, except for the 24, which is T2.9. All of the lenses also come with a 1/4" 20 hole for support in case the setup feels too front heavy. The design choices for these lenses are much sleeker, which is a welcome change. Yet Sirui had some issues with quality control, as the original 24mm I received said T2.8 instead of T2.9. And that was replaced by a new lens. And the 50mm has the markings on the iris ring engraved upside down, no matter how you look at them. The lenses come in a hard case, one that's nicer than the one I have here, and sell for $4,000, which easily translates to $1,000 per lens. Not a bad price at all. You're paying the same for a rehoused Gallius 44 at Iron Glass. Even compared to their original prices, it's not such a big increase for the improvements in quality. This set reveals MFT was Sirui's core mount from the start, and I wonder if they'll make other versions of the set with different mounts. I know I'd love to have these in L mount. It might be a pipe dream though, as the Mars lenses show slightly different backs when compared to the originals, and the optics might get in the way. I'm glad Sirui made these lenses to wrap things up and give us some closure. What do you think of them? I'm ready for the "Why only MFD?" comments below and all around the web. Bring it on. On that note, thanks for showing up, and I'll see you next week. Bucketheads out.